Whether you've got a new skill that you need to level up or you've had to change more for a raid group, there are going to be times where you need to get a lot of XP really, really fast in our scores online. And while I wouldn't encourage this for any sort of new character because you're going to diminish your enjoyment of the game and how much of the story and such you experience, there are times where it's an old character or something like that where you need to power level. So what we're going to look at here is some ways that don't cost crowns and that don't rinse you of money, where you can solo or as a team get lots and lots of XP really, really fast. Now, before doing any of these options, there are some things that you want to do. So you want to make yourself some gear with the training trait if you can. Preferably Heartland Conqueror on your front bars on your weapons and jewels, or in a 5-piece in general, because this will enhance the training effect of your weapons as well. You want to pop an XP scroll, and if you can, be in a group of 2, because this gives you a 10% XP boost. If you're an ESO Plus member, you'll also get a 10% EXP boost as well. But obviously these aren't super important. The training gear and the scroll are. So one option you've got if you're solo or in a group is to go to Spellscar in Kraglon. So whichever that way you try, and we can just run around a loop around these blue glowing stones and kill all these spell fiends and the Atronachs that spawn around there. You get quite a bit of XP for this. There is normally groups running around here, to be fair, so even if you're on your own you can probably find a group, because obviously you get an extra 10% XP for being in a group of 2. But we just run around just killing these, get a bit of a loop going, get a bit of a rhythm going. The more AoE skills you've got, the quicker this will go. But we just burn these down and we can get quite a bit of XP quite quickly, especially if you're running training gear and a scroll and things like that as well. Solo or as a group, we can also go to Skyreach in Kraglon. Now this is one of the group delve dungeon things that you get around that area. You can see on the map here, just sort of top left corner of Kraglon. This can be a little bit tricky if you're on your own or if you're a really, really low level, so it is worth sort of bringing a friend who can drag you through if possible, but it is doable if you're on your own trying to level like a morph of a skill or something like that. Now there is like a whole sort of quest associated with this where you go down into the depths of it and things like that, but you don't really need to do that for the purpose of the XP farm. We can just load in Skyreach Catacombs, and as we go in there's lots of these sort of like undead, like Yokodan, like enemy regarded dudes, whatever they are. So we just work our way through burning these down. So obviously lots of AoE skills will help here, just the same as with Spellscar, but we just sort of go through killing these zombies in a big loop, coming out, resetting it, going back in, rinsing and repeating until we've leveled the skill we obviously want to level. Another solo or group option we've got is the Dormans. Now, these do spawn all over the map, but the best place to do these is the allocated desert, because there's 3 of them and they spawn in a loop. So you can see on the map here, we've got this one down in the south, this one at the north, and this one just to the east over here. And you can see at the minute that's the one that's getting attacked. So I'm just going to go travel over there. And what you'll find is if you put in chat in allocated desert looking for Dorman group or looking for group, there's almost always people running around in big groups, just absolutely melting these down, trying to take advantage of the XP. We can see I've travelled in there and there's a geezer already absolutely full sprint for it. Now the good thing about leveling it this way is if you are on a solo sort of mission, you're on an old, it's low level, it's a bit shit, you can come in, there's going to be lots and lots of people, as we can see here, just absolutely beating on it, getting it burnt down. And it's also good because if you're leveling Fighters Guild, if you started that quest line, obviously all these things that spawn are Daedra, Undead and things like that. So it's a way of leveling up on, not Undaunted, Fighters Guild, sorry, at the same time as leveling up your character with the scroll and things like that on as well. Because of the sheer amount of people here, you can see this frost action just absolutely disappears. So you can get quite a good loop going, especially if you follow the group and you do the 3 as they come up. You can build a lot of XP really, really quickly and get through Fighters Guild in no time. And bonus point as well, because the chest comes up, although most of the sets from Allocated Desert are absolutely garbage, it's things you can deconstruct as well, so it's like 3 birds with 1 stone. So another one you can do, and it's a personal favourite of mine, is to come to Veramorris here in Greenshade. Now this is a quest area where there's a pretty easy to follow predefined loop, where you can come round and just warp out the life out of all these feral Bosma. You can group them up and burn them down. I'm not really doing it that efficiently here, but these give you loads more XP than like a random crappy ad probably should. So you can run around this loop, group them up, burn them down quite easily, and build quite a bit of XP in not a lot of time. This is also a relatively decent sort of multitask because you can gold farm here as well, because it'll all drop gold and just random crap that we can then sell later on. There's also chests on the route where you can also pick up sets that you can sell or decon and things like that as well. So you can just farm our way around this loop, killing all these, picking up all the bits, and just leveling up all our skills quite quickly. Now, let's say, for example, you or a friend has got an under 50 character that you want to level, but then between you, you've also got a fully fledged, like, CP level decent DD character. Another option you can take is to take the 2 of you and start 2-manning the two 4-man arenas that the game has. So Dragonstar Arena in Kraglon, or Black Rose Prison in Murkmire, which will require obviously the Murkmire DLC. Now the advantage of this is, assuming one of you can obviously kill everything, you can have the other character just in training gear, full whack training gear with a scroll on. You've got the 10% boost for being in a 2-man group, and if you've got ESO plus another 10% group, and you can sort of whack these down. So what we've come to find is you can have a level 1 character come in with a more powerful character, and by the second stage of Dragonstar Arena, you're level 10, which obviously means you can go do random dungeons, which we'll talk about in a second, and things like that. Now, the advantage of Dragonstar Arena is that while it does give you a little bit less XP than Black Rose Prison, it's a lot more forgiving. So Black Rose Prison is, well, on Vet, it's like the hardest 4-man content in the game, don't get twisted. But on normal, it's doable to get through some of the stages and level. But the way you want to approach it is slightly different. So with Dragonstar Arena, you just basically keep going until you can't go no more, until it's getting too slow, jump out and reset. Whereas with Black Rose Prison, you want to either do the first 2 or the first 3 arenas, get out, reset, and get back in, because after that it starts to take too long and the XP diminishes. Black Rose will give you more XP, but there's more things to concentrate on, like you do actually have to play the mechs a little bit, or you will get killed. So for an easier route, you can take Dragonstar Arena, or for a slightly more difficult but a more effective route in terms of XP boost, you can go for Black Rose Prison as well. Once a day as well, you can take a character into a random dungeon or battleground to get a massive XP boost and some transmutes and other gear as well. So that's always worth doing. Once you do get to level 10, make sure you're running any characters that you want to level, running these once a day. Make sure you've got some skills on your front bar, moving bars around a bit, so you can obviously get the XP boost on the skills that you want. And it's also an opportunity to run some content you might not have run before if you are newer to the game. So here we can see we're doing Vet Moon Hunter Keep with some of my guildmates in our Nightfall guild, and you're meeting new people, you're experiencing new mechanics, and you're getting to play some new content as well, and getting a fat XP boost while you're at it. So make sure that you're always hitting them on each character that you can at least once a day for that XP boost to get to level 50 quicker, and even once you pass level 50 to gain those CP points as well. Now, it is worth noting this is not a comprehensive list. I'm not suggesting these are the only ways of getting XP, and there are other routes that people have found, other ways of doing it, and there are some like crown store items like the Pledge of Mara and things like that, but I've deliberately tried to not go for the more expensive options that cost crowns, or options that cost too much gold, like Sigic Ambrosia potions and things like that. So hopefully this has been a bit more helpful. Obviously we've got the Explorers event at the minute, so you get that double XP as well, and these are just some of the more accessible, easy to use ways that you can ramp up your XP to level a new character, or get some skills leveled that you need to level because your trial lead has just told you that tomorrow you need to run something else. So thank you very much for watching the video. Please do like and subscribe if this has been useful to you. Again, some really good views, and obviously all your support is super awesome. Also, if you're on Xbox EU and you're in need of a guild, you've seen some of us in action in this video already. Me and my friends have started a guild called Nightfall for PvE content, social aspects, and learning to do some new stuff. Come and hit us up. The Discord link will be in the description. Everyone is welcome, and any questions, drop me a message. Thank you very much.